Hello, everybody. I guess I'm live now. This will be my second live stream ever here on YouTube. I've gone live a few times on Instagram, and I do find that that's fairly easy, but on YouTube, I don't know what's been my mental block, but I don't know. Like, I've always been super nervous to go live on YouTube, but I'm happy to be doing it. I am really just trying to, hang out with you guys, be consistent, and serve you all to the best of my ability. So if you're on the stream, let me know where you are watching from. I would love to know. And you can put your name in the chat as well. And I'm going to look at my Instagram to see if I have any questions. So I will be honest with you. I actually kind of put this up a little last minute because, again, I've been a little nervous to actually go live, but I honestly like talking. I honestly like the live aspect of like social media, but YouTube has just been such a block for me. So anyways, I say all of that to say that I am happy to be on here. I'm happy that you all are tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you are on this chat, if you can hear me, let me know. If you can't hear me, let me know. If you want to let me know where you're from and your name and all of that good stuff, let me know those things too, because this is my first live stream. I'm just kind of testing things out, so I hope that you all can hear me. And I'm also looking at my Instagram to see if I have any questions. Let's see. Okay. All right, by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, you can do so because there's some goodies on there that I sometimes don't post on YouTube, but I need to be better at integrating. But the first question that I'm going to answer is, what has it been like being home? Oh, Emma. Hi, Emma. I'm interested in moving to India, but I'm not sure. So can you tell me what it's like? Is the way the media presents it is safe? Okay, I'll answer your question first, and then I'll go back to the questions that I have here. Okay, so that is so cool that you're interested in moving to India. The first question I have for you is, why are you interested in moving to India? Are you thinking about moving for work or to experience the Indian culture, lifestyle in India? That is going to play a huge role, because I feel like living in India and living abroad in general is just going to be just kind of different, based on where you're going and why you're going. And so that would be my first question to you. Think about that, and you can also put it in the chat, and then we can discuss that further. And you said that you're not sure though, and can I tell you what it's like? I really liked India. I thought it was really cool living there, but you all know that I've now lived in two different places. So Morocco first, India second, and they're both very similar experiences and very different experiences. Hi, Raven. But I really liked living in India because, I don't know, I would say so far, I've now lived only in cities. So I've come from Denver, Colorado, and more of like a quieter suburb, and then moving to DC, moving abroad, to Morocco, and then India. Like, it's all been very fast paced. So that has been very exciting to me. I find India to be very exciting. And there's always something happening. There's just, I don't know, it's so hard to explain. I just really liked it. I really did. And I would say, if I'm honest with you, that is not everybody's experience though. I'm very open-minded. I like meeting new people. I like eating new food. And I can also like find my introverted retreat zone when I am, not feeling people or, just being out, but not everybody can kind of separate the two and find their happy place that way. So anyways, so Emma, when you talk about the media, in what ways do you see the media portraying India? I found that India was fairly safe. I only had one incident that I actually wrote in a comment yesterday that maybe I'll make a video about it in the future. But that wasn't necessarily in India, but it kind of had to do with traveling and, traveling back to India. But other than that, yes, I felt very safe. But again, situations are different. I had my husband with me. So when I'm with my husband, people treat me a little bit differently. And then when I'm not with my husband, I think it's just this air of confidence that you have to have. You have to have a perspective that you belong where you are and that you are not just a tourist and that you are open to everything and everybody around you because people can spot a phony and a fake and a tourist right off the bat. And I think that, you want to, again, exude that confidence. And that is something that I had to develop that didn't just happen. When I first moved to Morocco, I did not have that confidence. And yeah, but moving to India, I definitely, like, again, it's kind of like, I don't have children, but it's kind of like what people say. You have your first baby, you have your first country, and it might be scary. You might, tiptoe around things a little bit more than you do with your second baby or your second country. You're just confident, you know what to do, and all of those things. So, Emma, you said the media portrays India, it's poverty, ravished, very dirty, unsafe for girls. So that's the things that are stuck in my mind. Yeah, there is a lot of poverty in India. Where I lived in particular, there was, I would say, poverty in that there's more like stray dogs than poor people, but there were poor people. But I would say it really depends on which city you're going to. Hyderabad is more cosmopolitan. And so, yes, there was poverty, but it was such a fast moving city that it wasn't something that was constantly in my face, especially going from home to work and vice versa and things like that. Safe for girls, again, you have to, one, just maintain an air of situational awareness. Where are you going and why are you going to X place? And do your research, because in some places, it might not be as safe for girls, not as safe for women, but that hasn't been my experience. I felt like I was very safe. I felt comfortable walking to different stores in my neighborhood, walking down different alleyways, and different things like that. So for me, in my experience, I felt like it was safe. Okay, Raven, we're going to get to you next because I feel like you have a lot of things that you put in the chat. So thank you. Hi, I'm so happy that you are here, and thank you. I'm glad to be home. Yes, you told me, yes, your boyfriend is on his way back from Hyderabad today. So he went to Hyderabad and now he's coming back. Okay, I'm excited to know about his experience. That's pretty cool. You told me moving there is not an optional. Okay. So your boyfriend kind of put that into perspective. So yeah, Raven, I guess maybe from your boyfriend's perspective, what would he suggest for, I guess, someone like Emma who is looking to go to Hyderabad? That's interesting. Yeah, I do agree. I think like poverty, safety, the dirtiness of a city, it's like everywhere else. It might just be a slight bit increased in India. And I would say that's because India has a larger population of people. So when you have more people, you have an exacerbated amount of certain things like poverty, like more dirty areas. But, that's, big country, big cities and things like that, I would say. Raven asks, which did I like better? I always get this question. Morocco or India, where would you go next? Okay, so I'm a very positive, maybe too optimistic type of person. People are like, oh, you never actually choose. But I honestly can't pick which one I like better because I like them both better. And I've had really great experiences in both India and Morocco. And I've had really bad experiences in both India and Morocco. And I would say the bad experiences have mostly been on me and my own adjustment and where I was at in my life during certain seasons of my life. And so though my own self kind of indicated how I was feeling about a specific place at a time. But I really liked both India and Morocco very, very much. I think that I mentioned this in one of my last videos, that what's cool about Hyderabad and Casablanca in particular is they're both hub cities. And so, I mean, you cannot go wrong with living in a hub city. The fact that you are close to traveling to so many different places is so cool. And even if you're living in a place like Casablanca, for example, it's like if you're living in DC, it might get boring, it might get stale after a while because you've been there for quite a bit of time. But the fact that you can easily travel to another city or another country is a plus. And I found the same thing with Hyderabad. I found that those kinds of things make living in a certain place more worth it, and it kind of elevates your experience as well. So, okay. Thank you for your question, Raven. That was good. So he went for his sister's wedding. Oh, interesting. But it's not possible immediately. Okay. So do you speak Hindi? Did I speak Hindi to fit in? No. And that is one of my biggest regrets. I regret not learning Hindi or Telugu because Telugu is widely spoken in Hyderabad. I don't know what it was. Like, I felt like my time in India went by so fast, and my intention was to learn a language. And then the pandemic hit, and it was kind of like, okay, now everything is up in the air. All my plans are just ruined and squashed. So I felt like I just didn't have the time. Whereas for Morocco, I learned French before getting there. So I should have learned Hindi or Telugu or Urdu because, that is another language spoken in the region as well. I should have learned one of those before coming to Hyderabad, so I'd have more of that initiative to keep learning, because I didn't do it. And yes, Raven, Telugu is hard. I attempted. I had a friend that actually did like language classes and things like that, and she learned Telugu, and she was kind of teaching me phrases here and there so that I could communicate with like the auto drivers, and I just couldn't pick it up. Like, my brain was just not, it wasn't there. So I wish I learned, but I will say this is kind of a teaser. I don't know where I'm going to go next. I think you asked that, Raven. Hi, Miles. I'm sorry. Don't know if I'm missing you and your questions. I will go through your questions as well. So what was I saying? So we don't know where we're going to go next, whether that's traveling or moving. We do plan to move somewhere new, not anytime soon, but we're thinking about where we'd want to go next. That's kind of just our mentality, is we're like, okay, we're in a place, where do we want to move next? But I think we might look at a Spanish-speaking country next, and we're actually already learning Spanish. We technically should know Spanish. We took classes in college, my husband and I, but it's just with all the other languages, it's kind of just gone past. So anyways, yeah, we're learning Spanish now so that I don't have the issue I had in India where I didn't know the language. Okay. If you've been enrolled. Yes. So going back to like life in Hyderabad and life in India, Raven says if you've been to rural cities in the US, then it's like places in India as well. That's kind of how I see it as well. But yes, louder because of the honking and things like that. But I got used to the honking. It really didn't bother me after a while. Morocco, I had like issues with honking because we lived on like one of the busiest streets, I feel like, in one of the bigger neighborhoods in Casablanca. And it was my first time ever experiencing noise like that. So then I moved to India, and I honestly would sleep through traffic. Like, it wasn't a big deal. It was amazing. I was just like, the honking doesn't bother me anymore. So making friends, Emma, you mentioned that. Some of my best friends I made in Hyderabad. And I mean, I'm going to see if my friend tomorrow will let me video tape or record our chat for a future video. But we're planning on doing maybe a collab on this channel. My friend Dino, he's awesome. But yeah, like meeting friends in Hyderabad was easy. And I actually knew a lot of Americans, and no shade to my American friends, but we are not as connected as my Indian friends. I just felt like the relationships I was able to build with my Indian friends, my Hyderabadi friends, they were so meaningful, and I so appreciate those relationships. So I'm happy about that. So Miles K says, can you do more of these Q&A videos? Yeah, of course. Always leave me questions, and I will definitely do more. I'm thinking once a week. Let me know if that's too many Q&As. Maybe once a week on a Saturday. But if you have a better day that works for you, you can let me know. But yeah, I would love to do more of these Q&A videos. So Emma, you speak Hindi, but your grammar is horrible, so you're not that fluent. And you lack confidence. Yes, language, I feel like majority of language learning is the confidence, because like I said, I'm supposed to know Spanish, but my lack of confidence, I feel like made me forget it because I just wasn't comfortable speaking it. If you don't speak it, you lose it. If you're not actively working toward it because you're afraid, then forget it. You know, I think building up that confidence is important. Okay, let me see. Show this comment. It looks like Chinese, but I think Telugu is harder. Yeah, people say that. I would be interested in learning Mandarin. I think that would be very interesting. Miles K asked, do you have a bucket list? I do. Let me see. So I don't know if this is actually, let me see if I can find it. If this is actually what is gonna happen, but I was like dreaming about where I want to go next, and I made this like sheet. I don't think I can find it. If I can find it, maybe I'll post a picture on Instagram, but it's basically like a sheet of countries that I'd like to go to next, live in next, and then I need to make a bucket list for 2021. So let me know if you want to see a video on how I like plan my travels and like where I want to go for vacations, for work, and maybe even to live in the future. I think that would be an interesting video. Okay, Emma trying to move to Pakistan. That would be interesting. I have no information about Pakistan. Spanish is simpler, close to Arabic. Oh, I learned a little bit of Arabic, shwib. And it was, yeah, I really like Arabic. I think that it's a beautiful language. I honestly think all languages are beautiful. And I think that the worst thing somebody could say, especially like when they're here in America, is when they say, I don't speak English well, or I don't speak good English. And I think to myself, like, that's okay, because you speak probably like at least 2+ languages, and you were probably smarter than most Americans. Like, again, no shade to my American, but I think that my international folks like are so smart, because I think languages are so hard to learn, and the fact that you can compartmentalize all these different languages and then learn English is so ridiculous. You know, like the way that the English language is set up is difficult. And I feel like, if you can speak other languages, you are a step ahead of most people in America. So Emma asked, let's see, what's the best way to meet new friends or make friends in India? Where did you meet people? Oh, okay. So I actually, this is not for everyone, but I actually met a lot of my friends through church. I am a Christian, and what I loved about traveling was in Morocco and in India. Morocco, I was very surprised. I had a church in Morocco, a Christian church. I was allowed to practice my faith there, and I found friends there through that, but also, work and things like that, and networking relationships and things like that. But then in India, I met most of my friends through work or church, and then YouTube. Honestly, if you are considering living abroad, start a YouTube channel, because I've met like all of you here on YouTube, and I feel like, y'all are some of the best people that I've ever met, and that's a lot of how I get my tips and tricks and things like that is from the comments that I receive from local folks in the countries that I'm either living in or traveling to as well. So, but yeah, so if you don't necessarily go to church, you know, if it's another religion that you practice or something like that, I highly also recommend that you join Facebook groups. Facebook groups are fantastic for meeting people. And so if you're going to move to like Hyderabad, for example, there is a Facebook group called Hide Expats, HYD Expats, I think. But you can look up like an expat community Facebook group wherever you're going to move. And that works for anywhere in the world. Yeah. What's good English anyways? You tell me. Okay, Miles K asked, have you ever been to Madagascar or had any interest in visiting? Yeah, I've never been, but yes, I have an interest in visiting. I would love to visit Madagascar. I think that would be so worthwhile. Honestly, if I could visit everywhere in the world, I would definitely do that. I know that there are women and men that have their world records of visiting like every country in the world. I would love to do that. I'm not the type of person that's like, I need to do that in one full year. I can take my time and kind of, you know, be a little slower with travel. I don't know if you all know this, but I'm a little slow with travel. I'm a travel blogger and vlogger, but I take my time. I really find that living in a country really helps me to explore more of the country, especially if I'm in a particular city, but it also helps me build longer lasting relationships, which I think is really, really nice. But yeah, do y'all have any other questions for the chat? These are really good questions, by the way. I'm enjoying this a lot and having a lot of fun with you all. And I plan to stay on for about 30 minutes or so. So we're coming up to our time. We have a few more minutes left. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I want to ask you all, what types of content would you like to see on my channel coming up? Because I have been kind of playing around with different things. It's Vlogmas here I don't know if it's like worldwide, but here in the States, you know, it's like vlog every day in December. So technically this is like a part of like my daily situation. But I've been doing a lot of Christmas. You too, Raven, if you're leaving, bye. Thank you so much for hanging out. I've been doing a lot of Christmassy types of videos. So let me know if you like those. But I'll also, of course, continue doing some of my travel and expat related videos as well. Miles asks, did you travel as a kid? When did you get interested in traveling? I love this question. No, I did not travel as a kid. Well, okay, I'll say this. I traveled within the United States as a kid. I am a child of 4 in my family, so we didn't have enough money really to like go on vacations, like plane rides and things like that. So what my family did do is we would all like rent a van. My dad would rent this gigantic van and we would all pile in and take road trips to see different family members in different states. So I came to the East Coast a couple times. My first plane ride was when I was 9 or 10 to Atlanta, Georgia for a family reunion. And then that was, yeah, my first plane ride. And then I didn't get on a plane again until I was 22 or 23. And I started traveling for work a lot. And again, this was just within America, but really amazing. And that is when I found my love for traveling. I absolutely loved. I know people are like super weird when they're like, if you travel for work, then it's not like fun. But I'm like, I had a lot of fun. Like, if you're going to pay me to travel, pay me to travel. I will do all the work necessary. The fact that I get to stay in a super nice hotel and just experience like meeting new people and going to different places is so much fun to me. So that was that. And then I ended up traveling abroad my very first time when I moved to India. So how does that even work? Like, why in the world would a person move somewhere first before even visiting. I don't know. That was my story though. And I can expand on that for a future video if you're interested. But that is when I fell in love with travel. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you all, since we're all hanging out and we're friends. I moved to Morocco and I was like, what am I doing? This is far. Why would I do this? This is crazy. So I wasn't in love with international travel when I first did it, but now I can't get enough and I cannot wait to go somewhere new. Okay. Let's see. So why did I leave India? Because our work contract was technically over. Our lease contract for our apartment was technically over. So we were only supposed to be in India for 2 years, and we fulfilled our 2 years in India. And I mentioned this in my last video. We travel first for work, and then we travel for the lifestyle. So that is actually how that works. First and foremost, excuse me. How did you get your hair products in India? Like for type 3 to 4 curly hair. Oh, Amazon India is thebomb.com. You can actually find, what is the product? I actually used it for my hair last night. It is the Cantu line. You can find the Cantu line on Amazon India. By the way, please utilize Amazon India because you can get like Amazon Fresh and a bunch of like different things like you can get here in the States through Amazon India. But yeah, and then also using just the products that I find on, my favorite store, Nykaa. Nykaa, check out Nykaa for beauty products, and you can get the Nykaa app, which is Nykaa. I think that's how you spell it. I think that's it. I think we have come to the last of our questions. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Again, I had a lot of fun. And if you have any more questions, feel free to leave me a DM on Instagram. You can leave a comment below. I don't know if there are comments below this video in particular, but leave a comment wherever. I try to respond to every comment that I get to the best of my abilities. And then obviously you can send me an email at hello@thejazzynation.com if you want to chat with me further, and I will obviously write you back because I like chatting with you all. This is like my favorite thing to do. The connections that I've made on the internet are the best. So thank you so much, Miles. It was great chatting with you as well. Have a wonderful day. I saw Raven left. Emma, I've had a lot of fun chatting with you. If you have any more questions, Emma, and you want just some more information, send me an email and maybe we can set up a time to chat like this, just one-on-one if you'd like. I can make some free time. If you have more questions about India, just make sure you write all your questions down and maybe we can do like a 15 to 30 minute chat if you want to. You have an election process. Thank you so much, Rakesh. I agree. It was interesting. All right. I'll talk to you all in the next one. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah.